Well, 7th of July, 2020. Just a few thoughts, let's say. And the first is, I just rang Beyond Travel. What a name. Beyond Blue. Beyond Belief. Great Southern Railway. Well, that wasn't such a bad name, but beyond what? Anyway. I know it's only a matter of opinion. It's only dreaming. I mean, as a rail enthusiast, I'm entitled to dream, I suppose, as anybody is. But I do wish that this Great Southern Railway, which I call a more or less a failed or partially successful, I got to admit, rail privatisation. I should clarify that it's done. It was done back in the 90s, I think. What it has done that's positive is create a desire by people to actually use long distance trains. They run typically 30-car trains. I mean, the Indian Pacific and the GHAN are typically that. I've travelled on a 30-car GHAN, which is pretty impressive. And a lot of my overseas friends would be saying, wow, 30 cars, But that's only once a week. And the fares are absolutely absurd. They're to give you the idea, $3,000, or a bit over, I think. Sydney to Perth is $1,000 a day to ride on that train. Okay, it's got nice sleeping cars, nice dining car and lounge cars, and the meals are pretty amazing sort of deal, but compared to, say, the United States, and a lot of the Americans amuse me. They complain, oh, that these fares, these train fares, the sleeping berths and all that kind of thing are too expensive. And I've got a friend over there, and Tom. He flies. He's a rail fan, but he flies around the place. I reckon, now, for example, our daughter Cheryl went, I finally convinced her to go by train, actually. She went from San Francisco, or more correctly, a place called Emeryville across from near Oakland, to Denver. It's a 2-day and 1-night trip. And she got that for $375, and the economy seat, in other words, was $175. So therefore, let's say, for a couple of $100, you got your cabin, and she got it to herself. There's 2 beds, but she had by herself. It's a roomette, and she got the 5 meals that were quite excellent meals for the $200. I mean, I'd pay that the drop of a hat any time. And Great Southern, as I say, of $1,000 a day, what's now called Beyond Travel or something. That's the first thought. Now, as I say, I can dream a little bit, but I'd like, at an absolute minimum, V-Line to take over the Melbourne to Adelaide service and upgrade it completely. In other words, the standard gauge velocity sets, an absolute minimum of a daily service. In reality, those people who've heard of rail beds gives me the idea that perhaps 2 cars, it's going to be a DMU, if you had 2-in-1 seating, and they were each 2 rows effectively, you got a big leg room, you got your entertainment, you could have, now I'd take the scenery and I'd just maybe have the earphones for some music or something, like you do in Queensland. And at night time they become rail beds. In other words, you go over by day, they get made up into rail beds, they come back overnight. It'd be around 8 hours or so journey compared to 10 hours at present on the loco haul set. So forgetting about the stupid half-hour time zone difference. But we're looking at basically 11 p.m. out of one city and 6 a.m. into the opposite city. You could do that every day of the week, or you could do certain days of the week. You could say, we're going to have them on Sundays and Thursdays and Fridays, argument's sake. So it goes over by day every day of the week, but on certain nights of the week it would come back over on the same route. But ultimately I'd rather have it twice daily so that it's completely known to people. All right, the train leaves at 8 a.m. every day and it goes at 11 p.m. every day. Problem solved. Now, V-Line could operate that. That's my wish. As for them forming something like a Great Southern Railway, I should say, Australian National again, and handing over the Indian Pacific and the GHAN, that'd be too much of a dream, but it's a thought that crosses my mind. But anyway, I'd like anyone to comment on my idea of having a daily train operated by V-Line between Melbourne and Adelaide. See, right now they've paid, the Victorian government has paid for the Beyond Travel to run that overland for 3 years. When it finally gets going, and incidentally I rang them today and they said probably September. 3 years, twice a week is of only minimal benefit. It's not a great benefit. If you're a rail fan, you go out on you go out on a Tuesday and you come back on the Friday or something like that. Maybe go out on the Saturday and you come back the following Monday if you want a brief trip to Adelaide. But it's not really a viable transport mode for people to say 7 days a week a morning train, 7 nights a week overnight train. These are just thoughts, so I don't know if anyone wants to comment on all that and so forth. Well and good, but I'll just put it out there as the saying goes, and any polite and civil replies are most welcome. So thanks for viewing.